I just pray my love don't lie to me. Swing the iron like Samson, I can't let no holder lie to me. I don't feel these rappers, all they lies is hypocrisy. Ain't no competition, ain't no rivalry. Niggas think I'm playing, I don't hear one word they saying, this shit light work. Think Muhammad one of us, he might lose his life first. Circle up and stay alert. Another cop just stretch the nigga. He a demon, this an exorcism. Watch I bless the nigga. You took that open blood, then you know I'm gonna get active with you. From the opposition, I see vision. Let me paint the picture. Rappers can they spin, I ain't listening. Is in fact the fear. If revenge was a woman, now I scope that bitch like Jack. So time war, we gonna run the summer. It's gonna be historical. Thought they making plays, made them niggas call the audible. As who run this shit, but that question is rhetorical. Bitch, I'm the one, me cookies with the oil. I'ma get him crackers, hell, should've never kidnapped my family. I can't do that. Bet I be the last nigga standing. Do a life sentence for my niggas, pray you understand me. I might put a switch on this Glock and call it Young Bred. How you real triggering on them dots? You a bird feeder, claiming he a demon. What's a demon to a cold leader? When he saying something, I ain't hear him. This shit light. It ain't on who got the gun, it's on who gon' up that pipe first. I turn a bad situation to a game change. Bring soldiers from the dead, just raised up the chain. Free shots, I'ma look like Aaron Jones when I run it. Never bite the hand that feeds you, you'll never get that hand back. He bitching about 10%, I don't wanna hear none of that. He dropping sword, fuck him, just make sure you get that cover back. Look around, he ain't with us, probably cause he never was. Now my chin like you with the angels for your brothers. Everybody wanna be Richard Porter, God kill him like Alpo. Play if he want, it's laying in the trunk like Lee Malvo. A certified woman's ass nigga, I am not a toy. Hey, out with that hollow side, yeah, this the rim accord. Feel like Gullah Jake when I'm in Fayetteville, you feel your boy. Still up on my brain, still I think that's all that I. The way I get that boy lost, they gon' start to call him Elroy. Fuck his game, pop out on them demons like I'm Hellboy.
You boy, you know what time it is, nigga. Better watch how you step in, yeah. But that was my nigga, yeah. I'm in it, yo. Got my nigga Ramon with me. But that was my niggas, it'll be an honor. You know what I'm saying? Under commanding General Yahanna. Straight off the top, I love all of my niggas. That shit ain't gon' stop till we on top and we ballin', my nigga. We be fly as fuck, you know them bitches be stalking my niggas. That shit'll never change and it's the same with all my niggas. City to city, I should be at home. That's what my ribs say. But bitch, I'm grown. I'm in these streets and closed caption. Niggas know we bout that action. If a nigga play with me, then my Hakim gon' let him have it. Hey, make you the shit, this truth the shit. Nigga play, I let that Ruger hit. Get on them tracks, they be like, who is this? I'm rude with it. Ain't got no manners. All them pussy niggas talking shit. Yeah, I know they can't stand us, but we UPK, Louisiana, bitch, that's what I'm reppin'. And my niggas solid number, real ones in my section. If you wanna get down, put your boots on, start stepping. Brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you steppin', cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you steppin', cause brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you steppin', cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you steppin', cause brotherhood. I lay my life down right now for all my sisters and brothers, because I love them. I see them dapping and hug them. It's amazing to see how well we adapt from the struggle. Born again from a life of sin, trapped in the gutter. My mind frame was to kill my own kind. Feeling inferior, waking up ready to die. Run with them killers, so it's just a matter of time. For I take your life or let you take mine. That's respected, but in this world we rejected. We hated for our complex, still fighting to get accepted. We hear the truth and reject it, but love is getting corrected. And all my niggas correct me. The commandments, the foundation we erected. Brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. Hey, hey. Hey, hey.
You ain't no Israelite, but you a gospelite, bitch.
Fuck you talking about?
If that nigga on wall, bitch, we ready. It ain't hard to find us. Hawk, I keep that stick locked, loaded, but he'll fade you line up. Young nigga name is Slayer. What you think, boy? You be done to try. Soft cold shit, we bought it. UPK, shoot solid. Little bitch think I'm crazy, think I'm playing like bitch, I ain't the one. Warfare every day, so who is you, bitch? I don't need your love. Killers right round the way. What you think? I love this brotherhood. Hood. More than you, bitch. Sharp on shit, I'm about it. UPK, shoot solid. Fuck nigga don't want war. It ain't enough clips in your army. All the bitches wanna take my piece. All the hoes wanna take my piece. All the nigga wanna take my piece. No, I can't let a dog take it from me. I can't let a dog take it from me. You a hoe, study and you dummy. And these bitches really out this bitch walking around like they don't know nothing. And a lame nigga fall for them and get set up for the coins and get gunned down, man down. Should've took the time, get a damn no. But I see the shorty and I show her. She could never get a priest hoe. You a dirt ass, rust ass neck bitch with a fake ass jury. In Tennessee while I'm touring. It's a Tennessee, but she luring. And a sucker duck bitch ass boy, fuck nigga over that bit mugger. I say, if that nigga on wall, bitch, we ready. It ain't hard to find us. Hawk, I keep that stick locked, loaded, but he'll fade you line up. Young nigga name is Slayer. What you think, boy? You be done to try. Soft cold shit, we bought it. UPK, shoot solid. Little bitch think I'm crazy, think I'm playing like bitch, I ain't the one. Warfare every day, so who is you, bitch? I don't need your love. Killers right round the way. What you think? I love this brotherhood. Hood. More than you, bitch. You a lame nigga down to me. Eat candy, but I'm sucker free. You a little nigga, ain't nothing to me. Base up, boy, I fit a beat. Yeah, AR-223. Draco with a magazine. Yeah, the clip run like limousine. I shoot your ass in the spleen. Boy, I bust your ass in the temple. We debating by the temple. Tell the truth, boy, you's a victim. And you're scoring off like a lizard. Nigga walk down my road. Why does nigga come down my road? Boy, come down my road. Boy, I charge your ass toll fee. I'm a real big priest, nigga. UPK play for keys, nigga. Commander General get a damn order, but ain't nothing to me to damn kill you. I stuck in his ass like a cat. All weapons, boys full of tech. Boy, like a close combat. Nigga got popped off for a neck. If that nigga on wall, bitch, we ready. It ain't hard to find us. Hawk, I keep that stick locked, loaded, but he'll fade you line up. Young nigga name is Slayer. What you think? Boy, you be done to try. Soft cold shit, we bought it. UPK, shoot solid. Little bitch think I'm crazy, think I'm playing like bitch, I ain't the one. Warfare every day, so who is you, bitch? I don't need your love. Killers right round the way. What you think? I love this brotherhood. Hood. More than you, bitch.
Christ said 7 women gonna be on one nigga in the end time. Nigga, fuck wrong with you, boy. Stressed by that damn hoe ass bitch. Fake ass nigga too. Dumb ass motherfucker. Fuck you.
They killed, give me Isaiah 14 and 21. They did the same thing to my people. So you said that they put millions of my actions. Yes, you said. Should a murderer go to jail for murdering? Absolutely. Should a thief go to jail when he steals? Absolutely. Should a robber pay back the money he robbed? Absolutely. So why shouldn't the white man pay for what he did? That's right. That's right.
you'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog.
I'm in a hell of a hole, was never expected to grow. Just obstacles set in the road, that a result of me selling my soul. The story I'm telling is cold, but yet it's what everyone knows. The white man's the devil is known. America was never a home, only a place of captivity, safe facility, hating disfigure me. They claim that I'm lazy, be killing me. Maybe this slavery draining my energy. 400 years and counting, the trail of my tears is countless. The fact that I'm here is astounding, but I can't wait till this shit is surrounded. Ready to tangle my king and the angel, be ready to rap. Crack in the sky, nuclear missiles are making it official. I'm capturing every cracker surviving. Put them all in chains where they need to be, slavery for me. And let the whole world see that with them in the cages, safer in the streets. Put the dog on a leash, get resolved for the beast. 144, get the ruler show, we could all be at peace. As soon as the trumpets are sound, your kingdom we busting it down. The only way justice is found, the time for your judgment is now.
You'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog.
Look, ain't no remorse in my blood cell. It won't be no compromise. Now it's time to feed the worms. Watch his body turn to flies. I clutch iron while you trust the lies. The next Glock I buy gon' be Gen 5. I get it customized. And sending shots off like farewell. Praying payback come back around like a carousel. Still remember Yahanna's words ringing in my head like bells. Said you in his body, you fit the Lord, fuck the cocktail. Triangle choke, apply pressure to the game like I did Vondale. Payback's a bitch in a dress, she a bombshell. Revenge is served cold, I just hope they making oxtail. Glock fresh out the box, I swear it got that new car smell. Made myself a target in a world of mad shooters. Devils design fire for our babies to pass through it. And the day of our king's reign, I'll be overzealous. They bought my jealous, I bought brand new parabellums.
You'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog.
Hey, shalom, shalom. Shalom, shalom. Let's go ahead and clap it up. Hey, Salakia. Give me 1 second. Salakia. All right, shalom. Yahweh Bashim Yahshua with thumbs, all the brothers. Yahweh Shamar Alathun, Bashim Yahshua to all the sisters. I'm Priest and Officer 5000 Malak. I'm here in Kansas City, and this is the Sunday evening or Sunday afternoon history class. Salakia. Give me 1 second. All right. This is the Sunday history class. We're going to break down a few tidbits of history. I can give y'all the schedule if you want. Next Sunday, we're going to go into the original cowboys, the real cowboys, because so many of our people, and when I say so many of our people, I'm speaking to you, Judah, the tribe of Judah. You Judite, you arrogant Judites, the tribe of Judah are the so-called Negroes. The so-called Negroes don't like to think that, any other tribe did anything outside of them. And so what do? We claim to be the original everything. Well, let me explain something to you. Next Sunday, we're going to go into just who the first cowboys were, what a cowboy even is. and who the first cowboys were. Today we're going to go into Shalom, sis. Shalom, Sister Angel Marie. How was Shema Alathah by Hashemi Awashai? Checking in from Dallas. Most High in Christ, Dallas. All right. How you feeling, sis? All right. So we're going to go into today. We're going to go into what I was talking about in the Wednesday night law class, which is Salakia, our men being cowards, right? So-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian men being cowards. Why are we cowards, right? That is something that's very important to learn. We're going to go over the history of why our men are cowards, because, of course, there is no nation where you're born a coward. You're not born into being a coward, meaning every man has the right to defend his family and defend his people. And every man has the urge to defend his people and his family. Every man has that innate sense of, this person is in trouble, let me help them. I see this woman in distress. I see this child in distress. Let me help them. Let me save them. There is no man living who is not born, excuse me, who is not born with that innate feeling of, someone needs my help, so I'm going to save them. I'm going to help them, right? But in today's time, so many of our men, why don't we help the brothers and sisters in need? What is it about our brothers that we don't help so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians who need our help? The ones that are getting kidnapped, the sisters and brothers who need our assistance, the ones who need rent money, the ones who are in our ghettos and our projects who are facing death. Those are the brothers and sisters who need our help. Why don't we help them? Why don't we step in and save them? We're going to go into the history of why we do not, why we are cowards. The title of the class is, Were We Bred to Be Cowards? Right? Because that is, why is this a valid question? Because you see the amount of brothers and sisters. Well, we're going to stick to men. Let's go to brothers. I won't go to the sisters. Today's class, I'm going to focus on so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian men and why our brothers are cowards, right? We're going to go into that. All right. So now, if anyone has, so like I'm trying to do two things at once, bear with me. If anybody has any questions, any comments, please feel free to ask them in the comment section. All right, we're going to get all your questions answered. We're going to answer everything, all your problems. We're going to get solved. Okay, so now, with that, let's go into today's topic, right? With the cowards topic, right? So now let's go into our first scripture. All right. Let's go to, oh boy, I never went to it. Let's go to Numbers chapter 16, verse 19. All right. Let's go to Numbers 16 and 19. Where do I want to start? Let's go up to, let's see. Ooh, this is a good one. Let's start at verse 1, and we're going to skip down to verse 3. All right, we're going to start with verse 1, and we're going to skip down. All right. So now, before we read this, okay, why are we going to read this? This is about Korah, one of the priests in Israel. He was a Levite priest. There was Korah, Dathan, and the princes of the assembly, right? The princes of the assembly, meaning these were mighty men, men of renown in our nation. These were men that had power. When I read about Korah, Dathan, and the princes of the assembly here in a few seconds, what I want you to remember, what I want you to think about, I should say, I want you to have in your mind Dr. King, Jesse Jackson, Creflo Dollar, Eddie Long, T.D. Jakes, and all of your religious Black male leaders throughout history in America, right? I want you to think about them as we're reading about Korah, Dathan, and the princes of the assembly. Now, why am I going to read about Korah, Dathan, and the princes of the assembly? We're going to read a story about a priest, a high priest who was a prince named Korah. And there were men that followed him. Remember, this is at the time of Moses. The Most High God had always dealt with one man to be over the nation of Israel. The Bible says that the Lord is not the author of confusion. When you have more than one man in charge of a nation, everybody is confused on who to follow, which is why so-called fake Israelite groups are out of order. because no one knows, well, who should we follow? You got this group in charge. You have this group in charge. You have this group. Who do we follow? And so that is what was going on during the time of Moses. There were men named Korah and Dathan and the princes of the assembly who tried to usurp authority over Moses. The authority that the Most High God gave Moses, these bastards, these black Christian religious men, tried to raise up and usurp authority over Moses. They wanted to be the head nigga in charge. They wanted to be the HNIC. They wanted to be the boss. They wanted to call the shots. That is what they wanted to do, right? Well, the Lord have always dealt with one man, and that man at the time was Moses, right? Now, the purpose of me going over this story is to prove to so many black people and Hispanics and Native Indians that being a coward didn't start with slavery. And I know in our minds, like I hear, so you hear, not I hear, but I do hear, but you also hear in the streets are talking, right? You hear black and Hispanic women always say, there aren't any more men around. There are no more men. You can't find any men. Where are all the men, right? Have anybody ever heard that, right? Raise your hand if you've heard that before. I've heard it my whole life. There aren't any good men around. There aren't any men. Now, when black and Hispanic women say there aren't any men around, does that mean that there aren't men? There aren't a male species of their people walking around? That is not what they mean. There are plenty of black men and Hispanic men walking around. But when a black and Hispanic woman says there aren't any men around, she means a masculine man, a man who's going to hold it down, stand 10 toes down, a brother who doesn't get facials, a brother who doesn't get, manicures and pedicures. And, he's some old effeminate who loves to dance and sing all over the place. He's Michael Jackson. Women don't want Michael Jackson. Women want a killer in their bed, right? They don't want a choir boy. They want a hardcore, rough, fresh out of Leavenworth, hardcore killer. Sisters do not like sisters. Listen, I'm not saying black women haven't had sex with weak men, but black and Hispanic women desire strong, masculine men. So when you hear black women say there aren't any men around, they're talking about the type of men that are in the I.S.U.P.K. They're talking about men who are no cowards. Everyone understand? So when I pull this scripture, I want you to remember, when you hear Korah, Dathan, the princes of the assembly, think about your black religious leaders and the purpose. Now, remember, the purpose we're going to read this scripture. The purpose we're reading this scripture is so that you understand that there were cowards in our nation. There were not real men in our nation since the days of Moses. Since the days of Moses. If you sisters were living during the time of Moses, you know what you would have said? Why aren't there any men around? Right? This isn't new. You understand? This isn't a new problem. Black and Hispanic men being cowards. We have had cowards in our nation since Numbers chapter 16 and verse 1. All right, so let's read it. Numbers 16 and 1. Now Korah, the son of Izar, the son of Kohath, the son of Levi, and Dathan and Abiram, the sons of Eliab, and On, the son of Pelath, sons of Reuben, took men, and they rose up before Moses with certain of the children of Israel, 250 princes of the assembly, famous in the congregation, men of renown. These weren't your average black Hispanic men. Korah, Dathan, Abiram, Eliab, the princes of the assembly, the 250 princes of the assembly, these were not your just run-of-the-mill men. These weren't your average stiff-necked Union Jacks. These were not your goldsmiths and blacksmiths. These were not your average man. These weren't ordinary men. These were princes. Princes. They held renown. They were men of renown and held power and rank and riches and glory, which means what? Black people, Hispanics, and Native Indians are going to follow them. That's what that means. Whenever you see things like that, just remember it's important because we don't follow the poor Negro. We don't follow poor niggas like us. Here Commander Yahanna is. Here the I.S.U.P.K. is since 1969. 7 heads full of poor brothers. We weren't rich. You understand? The brothers who led this school, the 7 heads that led this school at one time until they gave it to Commander Yahanna, we have never been rich. The brothers in here are not rich. We're poor, hard scrabble background, rough project babies. Some of us crack babies. Mothers and fathers on drugs when they conceived us. Mothers gave birth with crack in the womb while we were in the womb. That is who we are. Well, who do black people not listen to? Those type of men. They don't listen to men like us. They want to listen to men like LeBron James and P. Diddy and Kobe Bryant and any rich black person we will listen to because they are men of renown. You won't listen to a poor brother that comes from the same ghetto as you. You're going to listen to Korah and Dathan and the princes of the assembly because they are princes. That's why you're going to listen to them, because they're men of renown. That's why you're going to listen to them. Let's keep going, right? It says they rose up before Moses, right? So all of these brothers, they rose up before Moses. Remember, Moses was the man who God put in charge of the nation. Well, they couldn't have that. They couldn't have that. Verse 3, and they gathered themselves together against Moses and against Aaron and said unto them, ye take too much upon you, seeing all the congregation are holy, every one of them, and the Most High is among them. Wherefore then lift ye up yourselves above the congregation of the Most High. What are these cowards doing? They're challenging the authority of Moses. And that is something you never do. Here's a lesson for you young brothers and for people in the world. Don't ever challenge the authority of commanding General Yahanna. It never works out for you. You don't ever challenge the authority of men of God. Well, you take too much, and this is how much of a coward they are. You know, cowards like those purple pigs in the IUIC. They always say some type of slick shit. They talk slick, right? They need to be punched in the mouth. Not telling anybody to do it, but cowards always have a slick mouth because they think nobody's going to hit them in the mouth. And so they talk slick. You take too much on you. Why is Korah and Dathan telling Moses and Aaron, you take too much on you? Do you think it's because they care about them? Do you think it's because they are concerned with their well-being? Is that why you think they're asking them, well, you take too much on you? Who put you in charge? That's what they're saying. Who put you niggas in charge? That's what Korah and Dathan are asking. They're challenging Moses' authority over the children of Israel. Why? Because they think they can do a better job. And that is something called pride. And it's something every coward has. Go figure. Cowards have pride. It is not bold to be prideful. Because who in the hell do you think you are? The Bible says this: any man that think he knoweth anything knoweth nothing. You're full of pride and you're full of leaven. You puff yourselves up just like the Pharisee and Sadducee. You think you know more than Christ. You think you know more than Moses. You think you know more than Commanding General Yahanna. I see you. I know you do. You think you know better. You think you can lead this nation better than Commanding General Yahanna can. With your full of purple groups and your red and white, you think you can do better. You think God put you in charge. Well, there was a time when there were 250 cowards called the princes of the assembly who also thought the same thing. Well, they shared the same sentiments that you share. They thought they were put in charge by God. Well, let's see what happens. Let's see who God chose, because God is going to show you whose side he's on. Let's keep reading. You take too much upon you, seeing all the congregation are holy. That's another, they talk so slick, cowards out. Seeing the whole congregation is holy. What does that sound like? That sounds like fake Israelites. That sounds like Christians and fake Israelites who are the same. Fake Israelites are Christians. And that sounds just like them. All of us are Israelites. So who put y'all in charge? Why do we have to join a group? Why do we have to be in an Israelite group? Why do we have to join the I.S.U.P.K? Why can't we do our own thing? All of us are Israelites. That's how Korah and Dathan are talking to Moses. You take too much. The whole congregation are holy. Every one of them. All of us are holy. All of us are Israelites. So why can't we just talk to God ourselves? Why can't we just follow the Most High ourselves? Why do we need a group? Why do we need Commanding General Yahanna to tell us what to do? Why do we need the I.S.U.P.K to tell us what to do? You're a bunch of stinking cowards, just like the princes of the assembly. And the Most High is among them. Wherefore then lift ye up yourselves above the congregation of the Most High. They're challenging Moses and Aaron. This is verse 4. And when Moses heard it, he fell upon his face. And he spake upon Salakin. He spake unto Korah and unto all his company, saying, even tomorrow the Most High will show who are his and who is holy, and will cause him to come near unto him. Even him whom he hath chosen will he cause to come near unto him. Ooh-wee, brother. This is Moses' response. These cowards, Korah and Dathan and the princes of the assembly, these black and Hispanic men who had the gall to come up against the power of the Lord and the man that God set up over the children of Israel, Moses fell on his face. When the Bible says he fell on his face, it means that he's embarrassed. He's embarrassed. He's embarrassed. He's like, these cats got the gall, the audacity to challenge me. Well, this is what his response was. Even tomorrow, the Most High will show who are his. Ugh. That should send chills down your spine, brother. Moses said the Most High is going to show who he's with. You're challenging my authority. That's a message to you fake Israelites. You've been warned. You've been warned. You've been warned too many times. The order is for all groups to come together under Commanding General Yahanna. All Israelites, all blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, all you Christians should be here. That was the order. What do? You establish your own group, and you have the gall to challenge the authority of Commanding General Yahanna, just like you had the authority, or just like you had the gall to challenge the authority of Moses 6,000 years ago. You are the same cowards that lived on the earth then. You are the same cowards that are living now. The same ones. The same ones. Because reincarnation exists and is real and is life, you fake Israelites are Korah, Dathan, and the princes of the assembly. You have the same spirit they have. You see the man and the organization the Lord chose, which is the I.S.U.P.K, under Commanding General Yahanna. But what do? You have the gall to say, well, who put you in charge? Who put you in charge? Who gave you authority? We're all Israelites. God is with all Israelites. We're all God's chosen people. So why do we have to be in there with y'all? Why can't we do our own thing? You are the same filthy coward that challenged the authority of Moses, who was the one that God set up to lead his people. And Moses knew it. And what did Moses tell them? You have until tomorrow, and God is going to show you who he's with. You're going to see. Who else did this in the Bible? John the Baptist. John the Baptist challenged the authority of Christ. Cowards are emboldened in their cowardice. They're emboldened in it. You know that you're not the one to be in charge, but because you're a stinking coward, you have the gall to challenge the authority of a man of God, thinking that you two are the same. Here you are. Could you imagine some fake Israelite thinking that blows rod and looks like they have HIV? Can you imagine they think they're the same as Commanding General Yahanna, who have never been molested, never blew a rod, who has always been outstanding, have always had an impeccable reputation, and have always been a man of God since coming into the I.S.U.P.K. He's never dropped his sword. He's never been a coward. He's never ran. Here you are thinking, as you left the truth, thinking that you are the same as him. This is the emboldenedness of a coward. That's the pride I was speaking about earlier. Just a second ago, we were talking about pride. Cowards have pride, and it blows my mind. It blows my mind the kind of pride, the level of pride a goddamn coward has. A coward. That brother, Jamal Williams' father, who left his son out to get kidnapped because the kidnappers had guns. Remember, I broke this down Wednesday in Wednesday night law class. He got on social media the next day, and he stood behind his decision to leave his 6-year-old, 7-year-old son, Jamal Williams, to the kidnappers. He had the audacity to be prideful about his decision. That is the trait of a coward. Cowards are so prideful about nothing. You have pride in what? What have you done for the Most High? What have you done in life that you have to be proud about? Cowards always have pride. You know what else that reminds me of? It reminds me of not just John the Baptist and the princes of the assembly, not just Jamal Williams' father from Wednesday night, but you know who else it reminds me of? Slave catchers. Remember, slave catchers were Negroes. There were Negro slave catchers. There were black Sambos during the time of slavery, which is what a Sambo is. That's a colloquial term that means a sellout. Because in Harriet Beecher Stowe's Uncle Tom's Cabin, Sambo was the black slave who snitched on all of the children, who ratted out all of the slaves who were trying to escape. There were tons of Sambos during the time of slavery. There was something called meritorious manumission. And if you were a black Sambo who had the pride, who was coward enough to tell on their own people for trying to escape, you receive penance. You receive freedom from snitching on a slave trying to escape, from snitching on a fugitive slave, telling your slave master where this black slave is. Here's a fugitive like Harriet Tubman. If you told on Harriet Tubman because of meritorious manumissions, go look that up. That was a law in the country in America, here in America, right? Because of meritorious manumissions, you were able to get your freedom because you snitched on a slave. Because you snitched on a slave. Slave catchers, those Negro slave Sambos, coons, sellouts, they were prideful. Like Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson, Dr. King, full of pride. Full of pride, full of pride. That is the trait of a coward. Pride. And the Bible says that goes before a downfall of a man. Because every coward falls, brother, falls. He's emboldened in his pride. You have the gall and the audacity to ask and question a man of God who put him in charge when you have never been a man of God. That is the coward. That's the pride of a coward. Everyone understand? And Moses, he checked the hell out of them. And you know what he said? He said that tomorrow God is going to show you who he's with. Don't you even worry about it. You ask me who's in charge. God is going to show you who's in charge. Brother, that's a gangster answer there. That is a straight up and down gangster response. You ask me who's in charge, I'm not going to tell you who's in charge. God is going to tell you who's in charge. How about that? You think you're the HNIC? God is going to show you who's the head nigger in charge. Let's skip down. Let's skip down. Let's skip down. Here, verse 7. And put fire. So they were ordered to get censers. Censers are the things that we put our incense inside of, that we like to fire with the coal, the charquette. Salaki. That briquette. And you put the frankincense and myrrh on it to light it so the Lord smells that incense smell, because the Lord loves sweet smells. I don't know what's going on. Let me just minimize it. Okay. The Lord loves sweet smells, right? And because of that, we light incense. That's part of our culture being an Israelite. It was part of the Sabbath service decoration. It is in order for the Lord, the candlesticks and the censers, right? So the Lord told them to gather up their incense, right? In them before the Most High tomorrow. And it shall be that the man whom the Most High doth choose, he shall be holy, meaning separate. Ye take too much upon you, ye sons of Levi. And Moses said unto Korah, Hear, I pray you, ye sons of Levi. Verse 9, seemeth it but a small thing unto you, that the most high power of Israel, that the most high of Israel hath separated you from the congregation of Israel, to bring you near to himself, to do the service of the tabernacle of the Most High, and to stand before the congregation to minister unto them. This is verse 10. Verse 10. And he hath brought thee near to him, and all thy brethren, the sons of Levi with thee, and seek ye the priesthood also. Verse 11. For which cause both thou and all thy company are gathered together against the Most High. And what is Aaron, that ye murmur against him? Verse 12. And Moses sent to call Dathan and Abiram, the sons of Eliab, which said, We will not come up. So here they are disobeying a direct order. First, they had the gall to challenge his authority. Now they're telling him la'ah, no, disobeying a direct order. This is insubordination that's going on in the nation of Israel at the highest rank, at the highest command, right? Imagine the president and the secretary of defense start to get into a battle. That is what's going on here in the nation of Israel right now. And Moses is telling them, he's warning them, y'all better stop this, man, because the Most High God is going to show you who he's with. Get your censors. Take this upon yourself. These Korah, Dathan, Abiram, Eliab, they said la'ah. They ain't going to do what Moses says. That's how you know. Remember, they asked, why do you take so much on you? That's a coward. They try to be slick. Like, you know who else does that? Our oppressor. Our oppressor tries to use slick words. Like he's checking in on you. Like he's concerned about you. He's concerned. That big, beautiful bill that Donald Trump passed, in it, it talks about the cutting of the cost of the federal aid. All federal aid got cut by $500 billion or some garbage like that, which means no more food stamps, no more EBT, no more Section 8. It's gone. You won't be eligible for it because you don't work. And because you don't report your income, you're going to be out of Section 8 housing. You'll be homeless. You'll be back in the Great Depression for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. You'll be right back there because the oppressor is the devil. And he tells you that that big, beautiful bill is supposed to do what? Help you. That's the slick talk of your oppressor. Let bygones be bygones. Well, it wasn't me that did it. That's your oppressor. Cowards talk like that. Cowards talk like our oppressor. You take too much on you, Moses and Aaron. You take too much on you. Why do you do this? Don't you know God loves all of us? We're all Israelites. We're all holy. God is with all of us. That's a coward. That's how cowards talk, right? So they can slide in up under you and then take your position. That's a coward. That's a coward, right? And so Moses is giving them an order on what to do. They said, la'ah, no. Now, let's get into the meat of this story. Let's see. Let's go to verse 16. Let's start at 15. And Moses was very wroth and said unto the Most High, respect not thou their offering. I have not taken one ass from them, neither have I hurt one of them. Moses is having a conversation with the Lord. He's praying to the Most High. And he knows that Korah, Dathan, the princes of the assembly, they prayed to the Lord as well. And they're telling the Lord all the wrong, the lies that Moses did. He did not do anything they said. They tried to say he did this and did that. And he says, I did not do this, O Lord. I did not do this. Hear not their prayers. He says, respect not thou their offering. Don't listen to them, O Lord. Don't respect. Don't take heed to what they're trying to offer up unto you, because I have not taken one ass from them, neither have I hurt one of them. I haven't done anybody wrong. They're mad at me because you put me in charge. They're not mad. And that's the thing about cowards. And that's the thing about you fake Israelites. You hate Commanding General Yahanna, not because he did anything wrong to anybody. He's done nothing wrong to anybody. He's done nothing wrong. He hasn't hurt your children like the church has, or like your fake Israelite leaders have. Commanding General Yahanna hasn't stole money from you. He's giving money to you. He's helped you. He's giving you a place to live and a place to stay while raising your family, while making sure your wife doesn't leave you, while your bills are paid. That's what Commanding General Yahanna has done since he came into the truth. And this is what the I.S.U.P.K has done since 1969. But you put false accusations on the truth and on Commanding General Yahanna. Why? Because you just want his position. And so you're going to lie and cheat and claw your way to the top. That's not how Commanding General Yahanna got in charge. He didn't lie, cheat, claw his way to the top. He didn't steal his way to the top, molest his way to the top. He earned it through his dedication to the Most High and his pure soul and his sincerity to Christ. That's what it is. You could have done the same thing if you had the same spirit as him. Could have done the same thing if you were as sincere and brotherly as Commanding General Yahanna. His brotherhood got him the position he has, and he's the right man for the job. You're not, which is why you're not in charge. I don't care how much purple you wear, red and white you wear. I don't care what your acronyms are. You're never going to be in charge of the nation of Israel, because you are the exact opposite of Commanding General Yahanna. You are a sinner, a traitor, and a coward. You're never going to be in charge of anything. So you have to make yourself in charge of something. Whoop-de-doo. God is going to show you in 2 seconds who he's with. Let's keep going. I have not taken one ass from them, neither have I hurt one of them. Let's keep going. Verse 16. And Moses said unto Korah, be thou and all thy company before the Most High, thou and they and Aaron tomorrow. He's telling them to meet here. Meet at this place tomorrow. Since y'all are so big and bad, since y'all are the ones who God put in charge, we're going to see who God put in charge. Just meet us right here tomorrow. Let's keep going. It gets better. Numbers chapter 16 and verse 17. And take every man his censer, and put incense in them, and bring ye before the Most High every man his censer, 250 censers, thou also, and Aaron, each of you his censer. Verse 18. And they took every man his censer, and put fire in them, and laid incense thereon, and stood in the door of the tabernacle of the congregation with Moses and Aaron. Verse 19. And Korah gathered all the congregation against them unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, and the glory of the Most High appeared unto all the congregation, meaning his power, Most High's power, his glory appeared unto them. Right? Let's keep going. And the Most High spake unto Moses and unto Aaron, saying, verse 21, separate yourselves from among this congregation, that I may consume them in a moment. Yikes. That is coming to you, fake Israelites, if you do not come into the truth. That is coming to you. Consumption is coming to you. The Most High God told Moses and Aaron and the brothers who were with Moses, separate yourselves from them, so that I may consume them in a moment. What is consumption? Death. The Lord is going to smite the traitors of Israel for coming against the authority of Moses. God didn't put you in charge. He didn't put you in charge. And that's what you have to always remember. You are not fit to lead anything. You're not fit to even lead your own family, let alone a nation of people. You're not fit to do this job. But God is going to show you that you're not fit. Separate yourselves from among this congregation, that I may consume them in a moment. Everybody who stood on the side of Korah and Dathan and the princes of the assembly, this is what happened to them. Verse 22, and they fell upon their faces and said, O Most High, the Most High of the spirits of all flesh, shall one man sin, and wilt thou be wroth with all the congregation? Verse 23, and the Most High spake unto Moses, saying, speak unto the congregation, saying, get you up from about the tabernacle of Korah and Dathan and Abiram. Now, Moses, of course, being as brotherly as he was, being a brother who cared about people, which is the first step in doing this job, you have to care about people. You have to have brotherhood. I don't know how you lead people and you don't care about them. How can you lead your people and you don't even give a damn about them? That's Dr. Umar Johnson. He doesn't love black people. He just likes to hear himself talk. He likes to read and be an autodidact and get 7 degrees, but hate his own people. You're not going to lead a people you hate. You can't do that. And so Moses loved our people. He loved his people. He loved the children of Israel. And he didn't want to see everybody die with those traitors. So he begged the Lord. He besought the Lord and he pleaded to him. And this is what the Lord said. He said, let me go back. I got to go back one verse, I believe. The Lord told Moses, speak unto the congregation, saying, get you up from about the tabernacle of Korah, Dathan, and Abiram. The Lord told Moses, tell those niggas to get away from them. Get away from Korah and Dathan and the princes of the assembly. Tell them not to join them, not to go around them, not to be near them. Let's keep going. Let me go back. And Moses rose up and went unto Dathan and Abiram, and the elders of Israel followed him. And he spake unto the congregation, saying, depart, I pray you, from the tents of these wicked men, and touch nothing of theirs, lest ye be consumed in all their sins. This is what you also have to remember about cowards. They are sinners. That's the reason why they want, Command and General Yahanna's position, because they're just sinners. They're sinners. All cowards are sinners. All sinners are cowards. And they have so much pride. Here you are, a sinner, prideful, hating your own people, full of pride. Right? Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Let's keep reading. So Moses told them, don't touch anything of theirs and depart from them. Get away from them. Don't go near the IUIC. Don't go near these acronym fake Israelite groups who are around in, for 2 years now. They were established in 2010, 2012, right? Come on now. What are you doing? Salakia. Get the hell away from them. They don't have the truth. They're a bunch of sodomites who hate their own people. They are not the ones who God put in charge of blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Get away from them. Get away from the conscious community. Get away from the Christian church. Get away from Dr. Umar Johnson. Get away from T.D. Jakes and Creflo Dollar. Leave them. Depart from them. Don't touch anything of theirs. Let's keep going. Let's skip over. Here we go. Wait, hold on. Let me make sure I didn't skip the most important part. Nope, I didn't. All right, let's go to verse 28. And Moses said, hereby ye shall know that the Most High hath sent me to do all these works, for I have not done them of my own mind. Here we go. He's emphasizing the point of, this is how you know God put me in charge. I didn't put myself in charge, because the things that are going to happen to these men, the things I tell you to do, this isn't of my own mind. God tells me to tell you these things. God is instructing me and I instruct you. Chain of command. This is what's going on. I didn't put myself in charge, unlike your fake Israelite leaders, unlike your Christian group leaders. God didn't, Commander General Yahanna didn't put himself in charge. The Lord did. He didn't give himself that rank. God did. You gave yourself the rank, the name, the group, the colors. You put yourself in charge because you're a coward and you betrayed your brothers and your sisters and your people. You're a traitor, just like Korah, Dathan, and the princes of the assembly. You see here, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, this coward thing doesn't start with slavery. It started with the pride of a few men being a coward in the nation of Israel. Being a coward didn't start with slavery. I know the tribe of Judah thinks, and even brothers and sisters in the Caribbean islands, or the tribe of Issachar and Zabalawan, you think that slavery is the reason why we're cowards. Let me tell you something, Mark. There have been cowards since the days of Moses. That's how long there have been cowards, because of pride. Pride is what every coward has. I don't know why. I don't understand it. That's a general Maimon question, but every coward has pride. And I don't understand why, because you're a stinking coward, like Jamal Williams' father. This nigga left his son when the gun was pulled out on him, because there is no excuse to ever leave your son to get kidnapped. He justified himself leaving his son. That is the pride of a coward, and I don't understand that. That's the same thing with Dr. King and Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton. They have pride, in being a coward, and I don't get it. Al Sharpton, not only was he a rat for the FBI, not only was Al Sharpton an FBI informant, he was proud of being an FBI informant. If you look at the tapes of him admitting to being an FBI informant, which they have on YouTube, all you have to do is Google it and research it. Brother, do you know that Al Sharpton he was emboldened by it? You would think a cat that's a snitch or a rat would be like, he would hold his head down like, oh no. He's afraid of the consequences. Not Al Sharpton, not your religious leaders. They are proud of being a coward. That is the trait of a coward. Cowards have pride. Cowards they have the audacity to say and do things and challenge the men of God. Those are cowards and traitors. It's just like when people leave the truth and they have the audacity to keep their Hebrew name. Brother, people who leave the truth who are traitors and cowards, they are so prideful. You would think if you left the truth, you would go hide under a rock somewhere. That's what you think should happen. You would think in our mind, because we are righteous and we're not cowards, you would think that, well, nigga, you just betrayed your oath. You just abrogated your oath. Surely you should go hide somewhere. Surely you shouldn't be trying to challenge Commander General Yahanna. Surely you shouldn't keep that Hebrew name. You should go back to being who you were in the world, and you should get the hell off social media. Not cowards. Cowards are emboldened by their pride. They leave the truth, they lay their sword down, and they get more pride. I don't understand it. I don't get that. I don't understand that. I don't know why they do it, but that is a clear trait of a coward. He is proud. He's proud. Like John the Baptist, when he had the gall to send his men to ask Christ, are you he or should we seek another? Like these fools here, Korah and Dathan and the prince of the assembly, those effing cowards who had the gall to tell Moses and Aaron, who put you in charge? They had the nerve to question men of God and say, who put you in charge? Nigga, who put you in charge? You effing coward. Who told you to come and even ask me that question? Satan. That's what emboldens a goddamn coward. Satan. Proud. We're going to get into a few videos later. Shalom, sis. Yahawa Shamar Alafai by Hashem Yahushua. Shalom, sis. How you feel, sis? Good to see you. Right? We're going to get into a couple of videos of some cowards later on. Some cowards later on that I don't even understand how you can show your face on a TV screen after what these cats did. I don't even understand that thought process of I'm a coward. I cowered it out. And now I can put my face on social media. Now I can keep my Hebrew. I don't understand it. I don't get it. Okay. But that is what I'm teaching you, is that a coward is very prideful. A coward is very prideful. Most High in Christ says, I underbar, no sweat. If you have any questions, Sister Nizam Anah, please ask. Feel free to ask. Okay. All right. All right. Let's go back to it. So now here we are. This is after Moses warned everybody to get the hell away from them. This is Numbers chapter 16 and verse 29. If these men, so remember, Moses told the children of Israel, these things are not of my own mind. This is how you know that God put me in charge. This is how you know God put me in charge and he did not put them in charge. This is what he's going to tell them. This is Numbers chapter 16 and verse 29. If these men die the common death of all men, or if they be visited after the visitation of all men, then the Lord have not sent me. What is Moses saying? Moses is warning the children of Israel, if these men die of natural causes, I am not the one God sent. That's not who I am, right? Remember, miracles are done by men of God, not by cowards who left the truth. Cowards who left the truth cannot perform miracles. You have to have the power of Christ in order to do that. And the power of the Most High God, brother, you can only get if you follow him. You understand? So Moses is telling the children of Israel, if these men die a common death, if they die from an illness or a sickness or die of old age, I am not the one that God sent. But let's keep going. Verse 30. But if the Most High make a new thing, this is COVID-19, brothers and sisters, something that you've never even heard of. There are ways that people can die that are natural, you know, normal, right? Ways that somebody can die. I'm gonna give y'all a story in just a second on this point. There are ways that people can die that are absolutely normal and natural, and you won't even think, well, it was because you disobeyed Command and General Yahanna. This cat just died because he got old, not because he left the truth. But brother, there are ways that a person can die that the Lord created a new thing. I'm gonna give you a quick story, old One West story, right? Commander General Yahanna, on his work of doing his rigorous work of the Lord, because he is the most busiest man in all of Israel, and he loves this nation and he loves the Most High, and you should follow him. As he's going back and forth to New York City headquarters, building up headquarters, DC, Baltimore, to these schools on the East Coast, he's building these schools up, right? Well, he had accrued a few traffic tickets, right? Commander Yahanna, doing the work of the Lord, he's nonstop. As y'all can see to this day, Commander General Yahanna is nonstop, a workaholic for the Lord. So he's working and working. He's going to camp in Harlem, going to camp in Times Square. He's building up. He's raising up General Mahyman, General Mayaka Alaka, General Haas, General Sharmar, the General Katham Gabar, General Kabbalah Maf. And they're going to camp. They're raising up brothers, building up zones, going back and forth to Baltimore, DC, Times Square, right? So he accrued some traffic tickets. And he had traffic tickets out. I ain't talking about one or two traffic tickets. He had a couple of traffic tickets. You understand? Well, there was something called September 11th, 2001 happened, where these crazy Arabs from the Taliban decided one day to fly their planes into the World Trade Center in New York City, in Manhattan, New York. A few months later, remember I told you Commander Yahanna had these traffic tickets. He shows up to court, and at court, the judge says they reading off the traffic tickets, and it says Commander General Yahanna, he got these traffic tickets. The police officer that wrote the traffic ticket dead because of 9/11. The next traffic ticket, dead, 9/11. The next cop that wrote him the traffic ticket, dead because of 9/11. Dead, 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 all because they died in 9/11. That is a new thing in the earth. That is not something that happens every day. You understand? That is something that doesn't happen all the time. 9/11 happened once in American history, once. You better follow Commanding General Yahanna because clearly the Lord is with him. Clearly the Lord is with him. That is the same thing that's going on in the time of Moses. Moses warned the children of Israel, but if the Most High make a new thing and the earth open her mouth, how many times does the earth open her mouth? How many times? This is how you know that God is with Moses, the same way you know that God is with Commanding General Yahanna. There's plenty of stories like that. Just ask General Muhammad. Ask a general in the school old stories like that, where you know, if you didn't know before, you better follow Commanding General Yahanna because the Lord is with him the same way the Lord was with Moses, the same way the Lord was with Joshua, the same way the Lord was with King David, the Lord was with Christ, the Lord was with Paul. You cannot come into the truth any other way but to follow the one man that God put in charge. It has always been that way since Abraham, since Adam. The Lord didn't make 4 Adams, 5 Adams. He put one man in charge. After Adam, he put another man in charge. You had Abraham. You had Moses, Joshua, King David, King Solomon, Yahushua and Christ, and Paul. There was no multiple leaders of this nation. That has never been a thing. I don't know where that comes from. I know where it comes from. It comes from American democracy. That's where you get the thought that every man can be in charge. Every man God did not put in charge of the nation of Israel. God selects one man. That one man everybody's supposed to follow. Who else understands this? America. America has one president, not 2. America has a chain of command. I wonder where they got that from. Great Britain had a king. Great Britain is running on a system of a monarchy. That is a biblical system. That's where they got it from, the Bible. Monarchies, kings, one man in charge, not all these different, peons in charge thinking that they're God's chosen. Here you are thinking God put you in charge with all that purple. You think your leader's in charge. Well, God is going to show you a new thing in the earth to show you why God put Commanding General Yahanna in charge and why God is with him. Well, that's what Moses told the children of Israel. He said that if these men die of natural causes, of a common death, which will be natural causes, I am not the one God put in charge. But if the Most High made a new thing and the earth opened her mouth and swallowed them up with all that appertain unto them, and they go down quick into the pits, then ye shall understand that these men have provoked the Most High. You know how you're going to know if these men are against God and I am with God and God is with me? Because the earth will swallow them whole. And that doesn't happen every day, young man. Verse 31. And it came to pass, as he had made an end of speaking all these words, that the ground clave asunder that was under them. And the earth opened her mouth and swallowed them up, and their houses, and all the men that appertain unto Korah, and all their goods. They and all that appertain to them went down alive into the pit, and the earth closed upon them, and they perished from among the congregation. Brother, if I were you, I would run your behind into the I.S.U.P.K under Commander General Yahanna, because that is coming to all of you traitors to Christ. That is coming to all of you traitors to the I.S.U.P.K. All of you, traitors and cowards. That is happening. That's going to happen. I'm not literally saying the earth is going to open up, but the Lord is going to show you who he's with. The Lord have always shown you who he was with. He showed you he was with Adam. He showed you he was with Abraham and Lot. Imagine all those people that died in Sodom and Gomorrah thinking that God loved them no matter what they did because God knows your heart. Here you are in a fake Israelite group of Christian wondering, why do we have to be in the I.S.U.P.K? Why do we have to follow Commander General Yahanna? Well, listen, nigga, don't follow Commander General Yahanna. The Korah and Dathan and the princes of the assembly, those cowards, they didn't think that they had to follow Commander General Yahanna either. I'm sorry, they didn't think they had to follow a man of God either. They thought that they could usurp authority over the man of God named Moses at that time. They thought that they didn't have to come into the truth, that they could just do their own thing because we're all Israelites anyway. So why do I have to be in this group? God opened up the earth and swallowed them alive. Everybody that was with them, their belongings, their tents, their homes, their families, and everyone that was on their side, the Lord smote them by opening up the earth and swallowing them. That is going to happen to you too. Shalom, mighty man. What's going on, mighty man? How you doing? Young man Ennis, how you feel, brother? How you feel? All right. So now, why did I bring up that story? Why did I read that story? To show you that cowards have always been in existence in our nation, right? There is no such thing as, well, because of slavery. Slavery is the reason why. Slavery is not the reason why we are cowards. Did it enforce us being cowards? Sure it did. Chattel slavery here in the Americas was the worst slavery ever, right? It was a terrible and still is a terrible practice our oppressor has put on us here in the Americas, right? Meaning the Caribbean islands for the brothers and sisters of the tribe of Benjamin, Gad, Reuben, Issachar, all 12 tribes went into captivity equally here in this region, in this hemisphere, right? And it is a terrible captivity that we are in. But this isn't the reason why we are cowards. You everyone understand? I pulled that to show you that we've had cowards since Moses, since Korah and Dathan and the princes of the assembly. Remember, after we came out of Egypt, those were the same ones saying, let's go back to Egypt. That is what. Why do you think Korah and Dathan and the princes of the assembly wanted to be in charge of Israel? So they can lead us into a land of our own? Is that what you think you're doing? Trying to lead the nation of Israel, be in charge of the nation of Israel? Is that what you think you're doing? You're trying to get us more comfortable with being in America. That's what you're doing. You're trying to get us more comfortable with being a slave. And that's all Korah and Dathan were going to do. They were going to take us back to Egypt to go be with the Egyptians again so we can eat up the flesh pots, so we can have convenience. There is a slave who's sick of slavery, and then there's a slave who's like, man, you know what? This ain't so bad. This isn't so bad. And that was Korah, Dathan, and the princes of the assembly. Let me show you who else it was. Let's get. Oh, do I want to get that one yet? Oh man, I got some good ones. Okay, let's get it's 110. Let's go into Reese Taylor. All right, let's watch this. Brother says, no sweat, mighty man. Damn right. Keep listening. Damn right. You got your slave and listening. Most High Christ. Most High Christ. All right. Tell those Jakes that come in there, give them a business card to the school here in Kansas City. I let them know we got a school. We building up an army here, the Lord's army here. And if you do not follow, you're going to end up just like Korah, Dathan, and the princes of the assembly. That's what I would tell them. Hey, I would show them the scriptures I just showed them and that I just read, and show these people who don't want to come into the UPK, show them their future. Show them thermonuclear war. All right, let's get this right here. So now we're going to go into more cowards. Remember, today's topic, were we bred to be cowards? Were we? We're going to see if anybody can answer this question in the end of class. The young man watching, right? Ennis. Were we bred to be cowards, Ak? The sister that's on here, Nazam Anna, checking in from Louisiana. Were we bred to be cowards, sis? Right? Anybody want to answer these questions, feel free. The sister Angel Marie in Fort Worth, Dallas, Texas. Were we bred to be cowards, sis? Brothers, sisters, someone watching? Were we bred to be cowards? Does anybody want to give a guess, an answer? Right? I'm asking the same question the Bible asked. The Bible asked this question here. What is that, Isaiah? It's in Isaiah. Is Israel a homeborn servant? Are we slaves? Are we homeborn slaves? Why did the Lord have to ask that question? Because we have shown through our character traits that maybe we just like to be slaves. Is that true? Is that true? I'm asking, right? Anybody feel free to answer. All right. Right now, we're going to go into the rape of Reese Taylor. We're going to look at more cowards. Should I do this first? No, I'm not going to go into the rape of Reese Taylor first. First, I'm going to read to you out of this class. I've done this before, so I know it's redundant by now, but I'm going to read this passage out of this classic slave narratives book, right? All right. This was after the Nat Turner insurrection. Anybody know who Nat Turner was? Nat Turner was a slave, a black slave in Virginia, in the Hampton County, Virginia. And he was a preacher. He was a famous black preacher in the South. And he would travel with his slave master to preach to slaves to keep them docile. Just like preachers today, black preachers today, slave preachers had the same job. Their job was to keep you a slave, was to preach to you, God loves everybody. What was the other one? Pray for them that despitefully use you. God loves everybody because it says so in John 3:16. Pray for those who despitefully use you and turn the other cheek. Those are the three lessons that black slave preachers taught in slavery, and those three lessons are the same lessons that T.D. Jakes, Creflo Dollar, and your mama's pastor teaches you today. The same ones, and it's the same for the Latino tribes too. You're not exempt. I've been to Mexican churches. I've been to Chapinos, Catrachos churches. I've been there, and they teach the same thing. They teach God loves everybody, and although Donald Trump and ICE are separating families from our abuelas and abuelitas and abuelos, we still have to love Donald Trump and his people. Mexicans, Latinos, they teach the same thing with their Catholicism and their Christianity. It's all the same thing. We have an answer from Sister Angel Marie. Being a coward was definitely taught to Israelites. They're taught that it's okay to be a coward. The white man doesn't want to see black men be the man they were born to be. Good answer, sis. Give the sister a hand. That is the perfect answer. So we were not born cowards. So then how did we become cowards? That's my next question. The sister gave the perfect answer. The sister says, Salakia, we was bred to be cowards by being SA'd and lynched. That's another good answer, Sister Nizamana. Right? We were bred to be cowards by being assaulted sexually on the plantations in the Caribbean islands, in Virginia, Hampton Roads, Hampton County, Mississippi, Georgia, Alabama. We for sure were bred to be by the actions of our oppressor. That's true, Sister Nizamana. But were we just born to be cowards? That's a better question, because the sister answered this question. She said that we were not born to be cowards. That is not who we were born to be, and that is the perfect answer. It is a taught thing. It's something that we learn from watching other cowards be cowards, right? Give the sister a hand. Listen, Nizamana, to your point, this is heavy because I'm going to get into this in a second. We were taught to be cowards by being SA'd and lynched. It's called buck breaking. Yes, we were. We absolutely were. That is what taught us to be cowards. Well, listen, I have a book here, the classic slave narratives book, and this little slave girl is going to answer our question, and she's going to give the same answer that the sisters gave, right? We were taught this, right? As I was just breaking down Nat Turner, he was a slave preacher who taught what preachers teach today. Black preachers teach the same thing that black slave preachers taught then. He taught us to be docile until he woke up, until he read the book of Deuteronomy, until he read the book of Exodus and Leviticus and Numbers. He woke up. And you know what Nat Turner realized? You know what he understood? He understood that we were the Israelites and that we need to get out of captivity. See, before he read the slave Bible, which is Psalms, John, and, Romans. That's the slave Bible. They don't have the Old Testament. They have barely any of the New Testament. They have some of the book of Psalms. They have John. They have Romans, and that's about it in the slave Bible. Because those are books that Christian white people used to keep us in slavery, to keep us docile. And those black slave preachers use those same verses. God loves everybody. For whosoever. They use the whosoever. The whosoever is everybody. John 3:16. Right? That is the slave preacher. And that is what black preachers do today. When Nat Turner had an awakening one day, he looked up at the sky and he saw, he saw a sign from the Lord. And he began to open up the Bible, and he began to read Deuteronomy and Exodus and Genesis, and he began to read the books of Moses. And he realized something, that we are the children of Israel that is prophesied of in Deuteronomy chapter 28 and 68. The entire chapter of Deuteronomy 28, the curses, the blessings, the reward, if we were to obey God. And you know what he realized? He realized that we were the same people, that we are the Israelites of old, and we are the Israelites today. We were the same ones who were in captivity under the Assyrians and the Romans and the Greeks and the Babylonians, and we are the ones who were in captivity under our oppressor, the Portuguese and the French and the Dutch and the Spanish and the English. We're the same people. And so what did he do? He decided, not under any authority of God, because Nat Turner was not in the truth, but he did what any man would do to free his people and to help his people. And because of that, he is honored. He is honored by us. That's for damn sure. He was not a brother in the truth. And what he did, God didn't tell him to do this. But what he did, any man would have done. Any man, and I'm going to get into that as well. Any man would have done what Nat Turner did, what Harriet Tubman did, what Denmark Vesey and Bookman Dada, the brothers and sisters from the tribe of Levi in Haiti, and I.T., the Haitian Revolution. They did what any man would do, and that is defend his people, defend his family. Every man has a right to defend his family. Every man. And let me explain something to you. Every man does defend his family. There's a reason why Jamal Williams' daddy didn't defend his son. And it's because of what this sister said. And it's because of what this book says. And it's because of what we're going to bring out in just 2 seconds. So let's read what happened after the Nat Turner insurrection. After the Nat Turner insurrection, there was an uproar in the South because slave masters didn't want their slaves to do the same thing Nat Turner did. They didn't want it to become a chain reaction, because that is what was going to happen. You see, just like fear is contagious, being a no coward, being a champion, and being a fearless warrior is also contagious. How do I know? Because I'm in the I.S.U.P.K. And it started with Commanding General Yahanna. And then he brought all of us in. And now we follow his lead. Commanding General Yahanna is no coward. So guess what we are? We're no coward. But you fake Israelites who have cowards as leaders, guess what you are? You're a coward too. It is contagious. Being a coward and being afraid is contagious, just like being unafraid and bold is contagious. It's the same thing. People get to see, if you see, well, this brother did this sister did this, look at what Harriet Tubman did, look at what Nat Turner did, look at what Bookman Dada did, because that is where it started. Slaves, the Negroes, slaves here in America, in North America, they got word of what happened in Haiti, because that broke the planet Earth. When those brothers fought and defeated the French military of Napoleon Bonaparte, that broke, that went viral, right? That went viral. That was the viral trend of their day, is a bunch of slaves from the tribe of Levi, the Haitians, defeating their oppressor in a war. Real battles, real war. They defeated them. Brother, that broke the world. That bankrupted the French bank, and it broke the planet Earth. So the slaves knew about it. And what happened? It was contagious. Then you had Denmark Vesey. Then you had Nat Turner. Then you had little slave revolts here and there throughout the coast of the South, Georgia and Mississippi and Virginia and the Carolinas. You had those slave revolts where you had black Negro slaves who were trying to follow suit and free their people the way Moses freed their people in the Bible. They started to read the books of Deuteronomy and Exodus, and they started to realize, hey, we could do the same thing. They received something called, what is that? What would be the opposite? What's the perfect word for not being afraid? They were bold. They became bold. They became no coward. They had that feeling of, I can do this too. I can free my people the way Moses did. They got inspired. They felt inspiration from seeing the brothers do the same thing in states that bordered their state. And Nat Turner was one of those brothers. And so what did he do? He went and slaughtered oppressors in Virginia. Give Nat Turner a hand. Salaki. Kwam Yasha Allah. Nat Turner did something that was very revolutionary. And he went and he unalived his slave masters and the slave masters of his people so that he could be Moses, so that he could free his people. Because any man would have done the same thing. I know Jefferson Davis would have. I know the white coats of Great Britain would have. I know the Grays and the Blues, they would have in the Confederacy and the Union. Those white men, they would have done the same thing. The Arabs would have done the same thing, and so would have the Africans. Any man would have defended his family and his people. And Nat Turner did just what any man would do. But after he got unalived, after he was lynched, and then white people ate his body and his bones, there was a fear through our white people, through our white slave owners. And these white slave owners, they met up and they tried to figure out, how are we going to make sure the next Nat Turner doesn't happen? How do we make sure that these black slaves that we have don't get inspired by the actions of Denmark Vesey, don't get inspired by the actions of Nat Turner or Bookman Dada in the Haitian Revolution? How do we make sure they don't get inspired? This is what they came up with. This is fear of insurrection. This is the incidents of the life of a slave girl, right? This says this: not far from this time, Nat Turner's insurrection broke out, and the news threw out of town into great commotion. Strange that they should be alarmed when their slaves were so contented and happy. But so it was. It was always the custom to have a muster every year. On that occasion, every white man shouldered his musket. The citizens and the so-called country gentlemen wore military uniforms. The poor whites took their places in the ranks in everyday dress, some without shoes, some without hats. This grand occasion had already passed, and when the slaves were told there was to be another muster, they were surprised and rejoiced. Poor creatures, they thought it was going to be a holiday. I was informed of the true state of affairs and imparted it to the few I could trust. Most gladly would I have proclaimed it to every slave, but I dared not. So this wise little girl, this wise little slave girl, she had to be around the age of 12, 13 at this time. She says that after the Nat Turner insurrection, white men were on guard. They wore their military uniforms. They had their muskets and their rifles in hand. And she said poor whites would take their place. So whenever the rich whites with their muskets had to go and be a slave master, the poor white people would just come and just on guard. They call those people Minutemen in the American Constitution. Those white men, that the posse comitazi, right? That they just got arms, and that's what Donald Trump have emboldened. The Proud Boys and the Proud Front and the Ku Klux Klan. That's another one. Fearful white men who just have weapons and just want to kill black people because of an innate fear of black people rising up. White people cannot have that. Black people have to stay in their place. So these white men are walking around with muskets and rifles to protect, to make sure the next Nat Turner doesn't happen, right? Let's keep going. She says, by sunrise, let me skip forward. Let's see. Here we go. This is what I want right here. It says, after the alarm caused by Nat Turner's insurrection had subsided, the slave holders came to the conclusion that it would be well to give the slaves enough of religious instruction to keep them from murdering their masters. Whoa, let that blow your mind. Let that blow your mind. The sister Angel Marie said, I asked the question, were black people born to be cowards? She said that being a coward was definitely taught to us. They're taught that it's okay to be a coward. The white man doesn't want to see black men be the men that they were born to be. Yes, absolutely. How do I know? Because it's documented by the life of a slave that lived through it. It's documented by the life of a slave. She says that the slaveholders, they came to the conclusion to give black people enough religious instruction so that we did what? We didn't have the urge to unalive them. And this is where being a coward starts in all of our lives. It starts in the Christian church. If you ever wanted to know why Jamal Williams' daddy didn't save his son's life from getting kidnapped, it's because Jamal Williams' father is a Christian. If you ever wanted to know why Dr. King would allow college girls and boys to get bit by dogs and water hoses, it's because Dr. King grew up Christian. Here you are thinking that Christianity is the religion of God, that God wants you to be Christian. God doesn't want you to be Christian. Donald Trump wants you to be Christian. That's who wants you to be Christian. Andrew Jackson and George Washington, your slave owner, he wants you to be Christian, not God. God wants you to be a goddamn man. That's what he will want you to do. How do I know? Because every man is afforded that right, isn't he? It wasn't Jefferson Davis. Now let's go to Jefferson Davis. All right. This here was the secession speech of Jefferson Davis. Anybody know who Jefferson Davis was? You sisters are in the South. One sister is checking in from Texas. Another sister is in Louisiana. Louisiana. Do you know who You're right next to Mississippi. Y'all got to know who Jefferson Davis is. You're from the tribe of Judah, I'm assuming. You're from the tribe of Judah. I pray that you sisters know who Jefferson Davis was. Jefferson Davis was the president of the South during the Civil War, right? I just read how after the Nat Turner insurrection subsided, white slave owners they came to the conclusion to give black people enough religious instruction to keep them from murdering their slave master. Why is that so important? Because it is important to keep black men slaves. It's important to take out the manhood of black men. Why? So that we don't grow up to be like Nat Turner. So we don't grow up to have the boldness of Judas Maccabees, of Eleazar. So we don't have the spirit of Christ. Christ wasn't a coward. He was austere. He was a war general. He was a man of war, just like the Most High. And white people know that. And they know that every man has the right to defend his family. But white people have to do something to us that has never been done to any other man, any other race of man. And that is to grind us into powder. Strip us of our manhood. They did it with buck breaking. They did it with Christianity. They did it with lynching and whippings. They did it by tar and feathering us. They done it by so many cruel devices that our oppressor has used to make sure there is no more Nat Turners, to make sure there are no men in our nation to defend Reese Taylor, to defend Emmett Till, to defend Sandra Bland, to defend Oscar Abrego, to defend La Raza, who's getting oppressed by the ICE agency of America. White people have to make sure we can never be like them. What do white men do? This is what white men do. Let me show you something, right? You ever want to just get sad? I want you to look at the condition of every other race of man. The Arabs, the Africans, the Chinese, the Japanese, the whites, and the Africans. I want you to see just how their culture doesn't prohibit their masculinity. Black men are emasculated by everything, by the news, by social media, by the culture of America, by oppression, by our slavery, by our wives, and by our children. We are emasculated with the devices of our oppressor. What are his devices? Child support. That's another way that our oppressor uses to oppress us and to emasculate us. With the help of our Black and Hispanic women, emasculate us through our slaveries, through our oppressor. They emasculate us with everything, through TV and music. The music, the walls, the air that we breathe, the sun that shines down on us emasculates us. Our oppressor uses everything he can in his toolbox to use it to beat Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian men down more and more and more and more. He did it with women's liberation. He did it with everything. Since the days of slavery, he's used it to just grind us and beat us down more and more and more so that we can never be like this. Now let me give you Jefferson Davis. Jefferson Davis, just so y'all know, was the president of the Confederate South. He was the president of the South. Remember, the South seceded from the Union. They seceded from the rest of the states of America. At this time, it was what, 23 states, 24 states, 25 states. At this time, during the Confederacy and the Union, it was what, 24 states or some garbage like that. Yeah, 25 states, I believe. I believe that's accurate. And the states in the South, below the Mason-Dixon line, which was Maryland and below, everything below Maryland was the Mason-Dixon line, which constituted them to be the South. So Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Mississippi, Georgia, Florida, Texas. At this time, Texas was not it. But Bama, Louisiana, Arkansas, Missouri, Kentucky, and I want to say that's it, Tennessee. Those were the southern slave-holding states, from Missouri all the way to Maryland. Those were the slave-holding states. Well, there was a white bastard by the name of Jefferson Davis who was a senator in Congress. So this was before the secession happened. One day, let me show you what day it was. This was on January, I believe. This was January 21st, 1861, a year before the Civil War. This oppressor stood in front of the American Congress, his fellow brothers in arms. And this is the speech that he gave. I'm going to glance over it just for a second. I'm going to read you the part that I find to be so important. I'm going to read this part to you, right? You may not be able to see everything on the screen that I shared, but I have a book here that I'm reading it out of. This is a Civil War book. This book is Fort Sumter to Perryville by Shelby Foote. This is a classic Civil War narrative, and I'm going to read this out of this Civil War narrative. Good job, sis. Hold on, sis. When did you answer that question? The sister knows something. Listen, the sister's in Louisiana, a Judite sister. She said, I know who Jefferson Davis is. Jefferson Davis was the president of the Confederate States. Well done, sis. Well said. Yes, he was. Now I'm going to read his speech, his farewell speech. This is Jefferson Davis. He says this. He says, it is known to senators who have served with me here that I have for many years advocated as an essential attribute of state sovereignty the right of a state to secede from the Union. If I had thought that Mississippi was acting without sufficient provocation, I should still, under my theory of government, because of my allegiance to the state of which I am a citizen, have been bound by her action. He foresaw the founding of a nation, inheritor. Okay, let me go skip over this. We but tread in the paths of our fathers, the American Revolution. We but, not in the hostility to others, not to injure any section of the country, not even for our own pecuniary benefit, but from the high and solemn motive of defending and protecting the rights we inherited. This is the part I want you to listen to, and which it is our duty to transmit unshorn to our children. England had been a lion. The Union might turn out to be a bear, in which case we will invoke the God of our fathers, who delivered them from the power of the lion to protect us from the ravages of the bear, and thus, putting our trust in God and in our own firm hearts and strong arms, we will vindicate the right as best we may. Akim, that's a man. Does everyone understand? That is the thing that other races of people can do that we cannot. Right? Our men are not allowed to be men. Right? We're not allowed to be Nat Turner. You know what our music is so gay. Our music is so gay. From gospel to R&B to rap, it is very effeminate. Our men are just, cowards. Not, you know what? When I listen to country, I listen to that goddamn Hank Williams. Does anybody know who Hank Williams and Hank Williams? I know the sister Nizam does. Let me see. She said, Sir, New Orleans just removed his monument in 2017. Wow. It took them how many years? 160 years to remove his monument. Louisiana did not want to remove his monument. New Orleans did not want to remove it. But I hear you, sis. That's something. They removed his monument. What was that? 8 years ago? 9 years ago? Yeesh. It was up there for how many years, sis? 150 years. And they just removed it. Let me show you something, Ak. Let me show you this man here. Hank Williams Jr. Does anybody know who this man is? Oh, I know the sister Nizam does. She's in Louisiana. I know you know who Hank Williams is, sis. Right? This is who I figure, right? White men's music can be this. This is what white men's music can be. Where they can wear a button-up, a cowboy hat. They can still be men who drink whiskey, who smoke Marlboros, and just are men. You know what our men have to be? Our men got to be Usher and R. Kelly and P. Diddy. Tight clothes and just everything just effeminate. They're not, anybody look at those country music awards. I'm guilty. Sometimes I watch that. Sometimes I look at that and I just envy our oppressor more. I look at that and I envy our oppressor even more. When I read stories like the Jefferson Davis secession speech, and when I listen to country music of Hank Williams Jr. and Hank Williams Sr., and I listen to Waylon Jennings, and I just listen to how they can just be men. African men can just be men. They don't have to change up what they do and how they act. They can just be men. They can defend their families. They can fly a plane into 9/11 because America oppressed their people and hurt their people. They can just attack and just defend their people. And I look at other races of men and I say, well, goddamn, we have to be Usher and P. Diddy. You know what our sons are dying to be? Our sons are dying to throw a pigskin 100 yards down the field. That's what our sons are dying to be. Our sons are dying to be football players and entertainers for their oppressor, their slave master. That isn't what white men are being raised to be. White men are being raised to run the country like Donald Trump. They're being raised to run the country and to be in charge of things. They're being raised to be the next Jefferson Davis. Did you hear what he said in his speech? Let me read it one more time. I ain't gonna read the whole thing. I want you to hear this part. He said, let's go back up. Not even for our own pecuniary, but from the high and solemn motive of defending and protecting the rights we inherited. You see, white men know that they have inherited unalienable rights. Do you understand? White men know that the rights that they have come from their God. And that is so empowering to know. Imagine if Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian men knew that you didn't have to be a coward, that you can also defend your people and your race and your family. You can also defend your people because the rights you have come from your God, Black man, Hispanic, Native Indian man. You don't have to cower under Christianity anymore. It's 2025. You don't have to be a coward anymore. You can come into the UPK and you can get the inalienable rights that your God gave you. And you have the right to defend your family, Black man. You have the right to not allow anyone to sell dope on your block. You have the right to make sure you don't raise another generation of Megan Thee Stallions and Cardi B's. You have a right to take back your neighborhood and your race and your people and your heritage and your culture and your language. You have that right to do that too, brother. You have a right to protect your family. You have a right to defend your nation, defend your honor. Why do you have to cower under Christianity? Why, whenever something happens to our people, we have to go to church and say, well, let bygones be bygones. You know what? Slavery's in the past. God loves white people. Why do we have to be the effing coward all the goddamn time? Let me show you why. Let me show you something. Let me show you something. Here we go. Sister said, damn right, sis. Kwam Yasha Allah. Damn right, sis. We don't have to be cowards anymore, brother. Let me show you a coward. Let me show you some cowards here. Let me show you something.
By 8 o'clock, they decided to go down. They made a mistake and went to a lady's house named Rose Jordan and Sam Jordan. They had 2 daughters, and the daughters were about 17 and 18. Each one of them had a daughter, Sam and Rose, and they were going to pick those girls up, take off with them, but they picked on the wrong family there, because Sam Jordan and Rose Jordan was 2 rough women that you didn't want to mess with. And they chased these guys away. And so they kept circling around, and they knew about what time the church was out at night, and they wouldn't bother them until they got about at least a half a mile out of town. And that's when they passed Reese and Miss Fanny and West, and then they come back, and then they pass, and then they come back, and then they finally stopped behind them. And that was when Herbert Levitt got out in the car with the gun. She decided to run away right away. As soon as she saw the gun and they yelled to her to get in the car, she started to run away. And she couldn't run but a very short distance because there was a tall fence there. And she could have got past that fence. She could have went into the woods below there, but she could.
And Miss Fanny told her not to run. Said, don't run, because they might shoot you.
Oh boy, did you hear what they just said? Sis said she saw the documentary. Sis, unfortunately, I saw some of it too. And there's certain things I just cannot watch. So Lakia, I could not finish that Khalif Browder documentary. It's something I just. Anybody know who Reese Taylor is? I know the sister knows. Anybody else knows who's watching class? If you don't, if you're going to watch this class in the near future, you need to know who Reese Taylor is. She was a sister in the South, I believe in Alabama, right, sis? The sister Nizam, you correct me because you saw the entire documentary. I believe she was a sister in Alabama or Mississippi. She was down south, and she was a young woman, young black girl, and she was raped, gang raped by a group of white men coming home from church. She's walking home from church. She was with people, right? She wasn't by herself. She was with black men from the church and black women from the church, and no one stopped to save her. They said, don't run, just go with them. Why do we have to be cowards? Why do we have to? Why don't we see black people love white people so much? Well, why don't you want to be like them? 6 white men. Come on, sis. 6 white men. Con, sir, I've only seen a part of it. Yeah, sis, I can't watch the whole thing. I can't watch the whole thing, right? 6 white men brutally raped and abused Reese Taylor in the 50s in the South in Alabama. And anyone know who was with Reese Taylor? Black men from the church, black women from the church. And all of them told her, go with the white men. Don't run, because if you run, they're going to shoot you. One day, brothers and sisters, one day we won't be cowards anymore. One day our men will one day our brothers will come into the UPK and be inspired by the actions of the brothers in this school, to where we will not allow another Reese Taylor or Emmett Till or George Steiny or Khalif Browder or the slaves we won't allow it. Because how do you live with yourself after knowing what happened to her? Knowing that you let it happen and you told her not to run. Don't run, baby, just go. Because if you run, they're going to shoot you. Death. Here's what black people don't understand, because we are cowards in this place because of slavery and because of Christianity. Because of Christianity, our men cannot be men. Here's what you don't understand. Death is better than living your life as a coward. For a woman, you are not allowed to be raped, but you are allowed to die. If some sick bastard has a knife to your throat and says, if you don't pull your panties down, I'm going to kill you, get slit in the throat and die. That is better than living your life with the regret and knowing this man violated me, took my innocence. You aren't allowed to be raped, sis. You're not, but you are allowed to die. Just die. Black people care more about their life than anything else. You care more about your life than anything. Your life is more important to you than anything. That you cannot have in the nation of Israel. You're going to need brothers and sisters who care more about their posterity, more about their honor, more about their reputation, more about their dignity than they care about their stinking lives. More than you care about your life, you're going to have to care about your honor, your dignity. So who you are says something. You're going to have to care about who you are. You're going to have to care about, well, listen, I can't be a coward, so clearly I have to just die. If I got to take the bullet, I'll just bite the bullet. But I can't be a coward. I can't be raped. I can't be violated. I can't let someone take my masculinity and my manhood. Like those brothers down there. It was if I can find this real quick. I'm going to end with this and then one scripture. Oh, let me see. The brother, Officer Not Desire, brought this out in Sacramento on one of his TikToks. This was a heavy, heavy point. I'm trying to think of who it was. It's something to do. I'm gonna have to find it and post it and reshare it. It's with the Spanish conquistadors. There was a brother. He was a so-called northern tribe. This happened in the 1400s when the Spanish conquistadors came through Mexico with Cortez and them and the Spanish and the Mayans or the Incans. One of them, the brothers from the man, it's slipping my mind. There was I'm gonna just call him a Mexican. There was a Mexican brother in the 13th, 14th century. And the Spanish conquistadors said, if you don't bow down and pray to this white God, we're going to burn you alive. He decided to get burned alive. That's what we need more of, Ak. That is who we are supposed to be. But with enough of watching that, you're going to become a coward. If you're a little boy and you see your father get burned alive because he didn't do this, Holy Mary, Mother of God, Dia de los Muertos, if you grow up and you see that, you're going to serve a white Jesus. You're going to pray to a white God. When you see Reese Taylor and you see Emmett Till and you see what they did to Nat Turner, you're going to serve a white Jesus. And you're going to be whoever your oppressor wants you to be. What you have to do is fight that urge to be a coward and just die. Because better is it to die than to live your life as a coward. Your life isn't worth that much. That goes for brothers and sisters. Your life isn't worth that much. You had almost 1 million men die in the goddamn Civil War here in America because they valued freedom, their justice, and their idea over their life. Think about what Jefferson Davis just invoked. Jefferson Davis, this was his secession speech. Think about what he knew was going to happen after this speech. They knew war was imminent. He said it later on in his speech. He said it before in his speech. Remember, I only read a snippet of his speech. You can go and read his whole entire speech. It's long. And he knew war was imminent. After John Brown burned down the city here, Lawrence, Kansas, after John Brown here in Missouri traveled over to Kansas to Lawrence and burned down that city in Lawrence, it's called Bleeding, Kansas. That was in 1956, 1958. Then America knew that there was no turning back the tide of ending slavery. There was no yes, the water. Give that sister a hand. Yes. That is his name, sis. That brother's name was Haughty. That was the Mexican's name in the 14th century who decided to be burned rather than serve a God that wasn't the God of his fathers. He would have rather died than to be a slave. That is the spirit that we have in the UPK. And that's the spirit I pray inspires the brothers and sisters in the world. Because we will never be free from this beast if we don't have courage. It takes a level of courage in order for us to be free from our oppressor. You do not get free from your oppressor through being a slave more, from giving your oppressor what he wants, from getting in there and joining the system. That's not how you do it. You do it through courage, through acts of courage. Was reading about it last week. Come on, sis. This sister knows something, man. This sister, she's not arguing and going through her husband's phone and arguing with her man all day. This is a sister who's learning, who has better things to do than that. She wants to occupy and busy herself with learning the truth of God. Spending all day in these classes. Give this sister Nazam Anat. Her name means Jewel. Is that what your sister name? Is that what your name means, sis? Damn right, sis. Most High in Christ. Jewel. Damn right, sister Nazam Anat. She's in here learning in class, learning. not going through her man's phone, not embarrassing her husband. She's on here, man, honoring her husband, man. Learning the truth of the Bible, learning the truth about life. This sister's learning something, a smart sister. Come on, man, get a sister another hand. Well, listen, that is what we need more of. More sisters like her, more sisters who are no coward, more brothers who are no coward. Sisters and brothers who are willing to die rather than live their lives as a coward. We need that, right? We need that. Let me give you a story in the Bible, and then we're going to end this class, right? It always feels like time just goes by. So maybe I need to learn how to speak better, right? So I can utilize every word into teaching these classes, because it always seems like the time goes by so fast, right? Let me read this in the Bible, and then we're going to get out of here. Most High Christ, sis. Damn right, sis. Damn right. You keep it up, sis. Damn right. That's a good sister. 28 years. Get a sister a hand, man. Her and her husband are no coward. I know Officer Matabar. That's a hardcore warrior, a hardcore officer. He's above me. I can't say it loosely. I can't say brother like that. He's a hardcore lord over me in Louisiana. And he has been in the school for a mighty long time. And he is a good brother with an outstanding reputation. And he's down there under Captain Guntham Yard, raising up Louisiana. You have a hardcore husband, as you know, and he has a hardcore rib, as he knows. So Most High in Christ, and congratulations to you too. Almost 30 years of marriage. That's a real anniversary. You brothers and sisters been married a year, 2 months. Talking about happy anniversary, my 1 month anniversary. A real anniversary is 25 years. They are a real anniversary. That's a marriage there. That's a UPK marriage. Give them a hand. Most High in Christ. Damn right. Damn right. That's what all of us are striving to become, like y'all. You understand? Just like y'all. Down there in the boot in Louisiana. All right, let's get this last story out in the Bible, and we're going to wrap it up, and we're going to go. All right, this is 2 Maccabees chapter 6. Right, so before we read this, going back to Jefferson Davis and the whole coward thing, my point with the Hank Williams and the Hank Williams Jr. and Jefferson Davis, I pull these stories out because I want to inspire black men. I want to provoke them to envy their oppressor and how they can still be masculine. They can still be, they don't have to give up their masculinity out. White men don't have to do that. They don't have to compromise their masculinity. And that's another lesson to teach you young black men. Don't ever compromise your masculinity. You're a man. Be a man. You don't have to give in because you want to make more money. That's a coward. Well, I want to get signed, so I got to suck this record producer's rod. You sisters and brothers you care more about the bag and money than anything else, than your dignity and your self-worth and respect. You're going to suck a record producer's rod so you can make terrible music? Come on, man. Who in the hell are we anymore? You got to have dignity enough to say, you know what? I don't give a F if I'm poor on the streets, but I'm going to be a man. I'm going to maintain my masculinity. I don't have to go and see those bastard kids from that terrible bitch mom who put me on child support. Some woman got you on child support. You don't have to be emasculated by going to see those children, by listening to her mouth. Man, listen, go get you a new woman and start a new family. Pay the child support and never go see those kids. Never go see those sons. That son is going to be a bitch anyway. Those daughters are going to grow up to be fats and hoes anyway. Pay that goddamn child support and leave that stupid bitch alone. She put you on child support. Go start a new family. Don't ever see those kids. You maintain your masculinity. You maintain your masculinity. Don't give up your masculinity for nothing or nobody. You be a man, Doc. Be a man. Don't let them circumstances change you. Or I got to go see the kids. She got me on child support. She going to put me on child support if I don't. Man, fuck, F her. So like, excuse my language. F her. You be a man, Doc. Some slavery is going to fire you because you don't want to, because they asking you to compromise something, some silly. Man, leave the slave, go get a new slave. You got brothers in here who are going to help you with your finances if you need help financially. You need help with getting food, we got you out. Brotherhood is a weapon. Money is a defense, but brotherhood is a weapon now. You don't have to compromise who you are, your masculinity. You don't have to compromise being a man just to make it in society. That is a lie from your oppressor. That's a lie from the Christian church. You got to shave your beard, shave your head, wear a suit and a goddamn tie to be a man. F that out. You be a man, brother. Let that beard grow. Let your hair grow. You be a man. Don't compromise who you are. Happy wife, happy life. F that. That's that old Christian garbage. that teaches and raises cowards out of our sons from these single mothers who run the church. Don't be like that. You be a man now. Be inspired by that brother the sister put up earlier, Halty. Be inspired by him and men like Nat Turner, who went to the death chair manfully. You know who else went to the death chair manfully? These brothers here in the Bible. These 7 sons. We're going to read about it today. We're going to finish off with this here. Let's see. This is 2 Maccabees chapter 6, verse 1. You know what? Because of time, we're going to go. Let me go back. Okay, because of time, I'm just going to get to the point. So I'm going to get straight to the scripture. Let's get to verse 6. Let's get to verse 6. This is Numbers chapter 6, verse Salakia, Numbers. I'm losing my mind, y'all. Y'all got to help me out, man. I'm losing my mind. I'm too young to lose my mind. This all that. Listen, I'm losing my mind because of the cowards in our nation make me so sick. I'm going crazy because of all of these goddamn cowards in our nation. I'm trying to help brothers not to be a coward. This is 2 Maccabees chapter 6, verse 6. Neither was it lawful for a man to keep Sabbath days or ancient fasts, or to profess himself at all to be a Jew. This was during the time, you're going to hear about this in another 4 months around the time of Hanukkah. This is the book of Maccabees, which shows and highlights the brave men and women who stood up to the Greeks, who stood up to the Romans, who didn't kowtow, who didn't turn cur like your Christian pastors have in America. The Bible says that in these days, it was unlawful for a man to profess himself a Jew. Imagine the kind of oppression we were in then, the same oppression we're in now. And so now we weren't even allowed to say, I'm a Jew, just like now, just like Kanye West, just like Kyrie Irving. You cannot say you're a Jew. Why? Because your oppressor doesn't want to hear that. You're African American, you're Mexican, you're Venezuelan, you're Haitian, you're Negro. That is not who we are. We're the Jews of the Bible. But at this time, you cannot profess to be a Jew, nor could you keep the high holy days. You are forbidden to keep the high holy days because of the oppression and the slavery we were under the Greeks. Let's keep reading, right? I'm going to skip ahead. Let me skip ahead. I want to get to the sun, all right? I want to get to that part. So this is okay. So I got to go to chapter 7 if I want to do that. Okay, let's go to chapter 7. Okay, here we go. This is what I want, right? On the topic of being no coward, this is 2 Maccabees chapter 7, verse 1. There was a woman, a sister in our nation, who had 7 sons. Now, let me speed you up just a little bit. All of her sons died. They were all unalive by the Greeks because they refused to bow their head to a Greek god. They refused to put swine's flesh in their mouth. They refused to abrogate their oath to the Most High God. They refused to do the things that God said not to do, no matter who was in charge and no matter the consequences. This was her first son. We're not going to read all of it, but this was her first son. It says here, but one of them that spake first said thus, what wouldest thou ask or learn of us? We are ready to die rather than to transgress the laws of our father. The first son stepped forward and said, nigga, we're not putting that pork in our mouth. That's what he said to the Greek soldiers. The Greeks wanted them to eat pork so bad. They wanted them to disobey their God, our God so bad. The first son said, no, we're not doing that. We would rather die than to transgress the laws of our father. That is the spirit that Commander General Yahanna has put back into black men on the earth. Give Commander General Yahanna and the I.S.U.P.K a hand. Because that is what we're doing in the UPK. The Commander General Yahanna has raised generations of men who are just like those 7 men in the Bible. Do you think any one of us in the truth would eat pork? There'll be a goddamn guillotine that we're facing, an electric chair, a gun. We'll take the guillotine. We'll take the electric chair. We'll take the 25 years in prison. But we're not going to abrogate our oath. We're not going to disobey the Most High. I don't give an F what the consequence is. That brother was set on fire. Halty, Hautey. That Issacharite brother in the 12th, 13th century was set on fire. Why? Because he was a bad person? He was set on fire because he refused to bow his head to another God. He refused to celebrate and worship the God of his slave master, the God of his people's oppressor. There was Native Indian brothers like that, Red Cloud and Sitting Bull. They told the white man, we're not going to serve that white Jesus. Shema Yasha Allah, Allah Hayanawa Yahweh Akkad. Hear, O Israel, the Most High God is one God. We ain't about to serve Caesar Borgia. We're not going to serve no Muslim God. We're not going to serve some Arab, some white Jesus. We're not going to do that. We're going to serve the God of our forefathers. Kill me if you want to. Go to war with me if you want to. But just know this. We are men willing and ready to die for what we believe in. That's a man, sis. You sisters want men that can sing and dance and, turn the best flips. That's the brother you better marry. A brother who's a goddamn man. I don't care how he looks. You marry a man. That's a man. A brother who's willing to go to the death chair manfully over what he believes. Every other man can do that. Jefferson Davis said it in his speech. Every other man is allotted the power and the right to be a man. Guess what, Black and Hispanic men? So are we. We're men too. Aren't you a man? You're a man too, Ak. Grab your cojones and strap your courage to the wall and let's go to war. Spiritually, of course. Spiritually. FBI, I'm not saying we're going to arm ourselves like the Proud Boys. I'm telling brothers to get masculinity back. And we're going to go to war with our oppressor in the spirit realm, in the fourth dimension. Precept, for we wrestle not with flesh and blood, but with all the principalities of the air. That is who our enemy is. Satan, Shaitan, the white man. And what do we have to do? We have to put down shrimp and pork and crab. We got to put down being a coward. We have to put away the Christian church. We got to put down all of the things that make us prone to sin. We got to put those things away. We got to strap our courage to the wall, Black man, Hispanic and Native Indian man, and we got to take our communities back, take our women, our households back. We got to fight for what belongs to us. Every other race of man would. Are you not a man? I know I am. Are you willing to follow me because I follow Commander Yahanna? You're a brother in Kansas City, Kansas, or Missouri. You come follow me. I'll show you how to be a goddamn man. You don't have to turn cur. You brother sat there in that sun fresh and watched those cops choke that brother halfway to death. I saw the video right here in Kansas City. You watched them. Why did none of you step in? But you'll be quick to go shoot a brother because he's from the 30s, you from the 50s. But some black cop, he was a black cop too. Some black cop chokes your brother half to death on the floor of a sun fresh for no reason. And what do you say? Well, I don't know why he did it. The brother could have been in the wrong. You're an effing coward. You care more about your life and your rights and going to jail than you do about saving the lives of your people. You better come follow me here in Kansas City because I follow Commander General Yahanna and Commanding General Yahanna follows Christ. We are no coward here. We'll show you and teach you how to be a goddamn man. You come in here and you'll learn just how to be a man so that you don't have to be a coward and so that and so that our nation doesn't suffer from the acts of cowards. So that our nation doesn't suffer because you're a coward. What happened to that boy Jamal Williams in Milwaukee? He was kidnapped because his daddy was a coward. What happens to your daughters in Kansas City? They're thoughts and hoes and are strippers who put black men on child support because you didn't raise them the way a man would raise them. You, happy wife, happy life. That's you. Well, listen, enough of that. Enough of being a coward. It's time to get your courage back, brother. It's time to get your masculinity back. We would rather, let's read that one more time before we get out of here. But one of them that spake first said thus, what wouldest thou ask or learn of us? We are ready to die rather than to transgress the laws of our Father. That's the UPK. That's us. We're just a bunch of barbarians who's looking for trouble, who doesn't run from trouble, who doesn't run from the cops, who doesn't run from fights, confrontation. We're willing and ready to die for what we believe in. And everyone knows that, and everyone should know it. We are extreme because that's the only way a man should be. All steer. Everyone understand? All right, so listen, let's stop being cowards, brothers. Let's stop doing that. Let's come into the UPK. Let's put on our masculinity. Let's be strong again. Does everyone understand? Let's do that. All right, but with that, I Majum, just me. The water for the brothers and sisters that join me in class tonight. or join me in class today, right? The water for all the brothers and sisters that join in class. All right, here we go. We are the I.S.U.P.K, started out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for a new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. Numbers chapter 18, verse 21. Malachi chapter 3, verse 8 through 10 means tenth in the Hebrew, ma'ashara, 10% of every penny of any increase the Most High gives you. Give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. Remind Akim and Akwat to check the bulletin board in the hallway. Right. Also, the announcement. Also, the Midwest Fire Weekend is coming up. Give the Midwest Fire Weekend a hand. Here in another couple of weeks, which is from July the 31st through August the 3rd, is the Midwest Fire Weekend held in Chicago, Illinois. Right. Make sure you're there. It's going to be full of events. Every day you got the general's class. Commander Yahanna will be giving a lecture, which you don't want to miss. You have the round table of truth, the actual cookout, food and clothing drive. We have an expungement program that we're doing up there. Make sure you're there in attendance, man. It's something you don't want to miss. All right. That is the Midwest Fire Weekend. Once again in Chicago. Be there. It's coming up soon. Book your hotel rooms. You have until today. Get your hotel rooms. Get your Airbnb. Get your transportation in order. Make sure you're there, man. Donate. Make sure you also donate. There's a GoFundMe for the Midwest Fire Weekend. It's on my page. It's on all the schools in the Midwest page. Please like, share, subscribe, and share that GoFundMe and support and donate to that GoFundMe. Everyone understand? If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black. Boots, shirt, pants, headband, and war scarf. With that, imajim, which means to stand. Men of Israel, we're going to give one courtesy salute to the brothers. Men of Israel, imajim Shabbat, imajim, Barak, Yahabah Shemi Awashab Thumb, Yajimatah, Sar, face the sisters. Men of Israel, we're going to give one courtesy salute to the sisters. Men of Israel, imajim Shabbat, imajim, Barak, Yahweh Shamar Alathun by Shemi Awashab. Yajimatah, class dismissed.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Damn right, I'm a UPK nigga. Straight out of 1 West, no contest. We the best to the niggas who's living, trying to contend with the stress. Going through the test, no access, cause you oppressed. Slaves, niggas is dying off in waves. Living in dirt, now it's a grave. Niggas cross-talk through the crosswalk or the white chalk over the bodies of roads that you paid. Americans killing us, saying they fearing us. Put the drugs in the hood, now my niggas delirious. Put a gun in my face, all because of my race. Click, boom, flash, put some Skittles and murder my ass. Like a sheep to the slaughter, heart beating harder and harder. Baptized with these words, never dipping in water. So now we pray to the Father. Give strength to the Father that's looking for the marauder. That's fucking taking our daughters, nigga. It's wartime. Lights up, nigga, showtime. Got the green light on that ass, yeah, go time. Either boot up, shut up, but get your ass up. Cause we ain't got time to be playing this all fucked up America. Heaven for the thief, hell for the slave. Reaping what you sow, meaning giving back what you gave. For a clean slate, you try to imitate. You was always fake. America, every city, state, this is your fate. Whoa, 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 to America. Whoa, 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 to America. Whoa, 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 to America. Whoa, 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 to America.
On the timeline, giving the rhythm to expose the intricacies of things. Vibe, who am I? Well, I ain't shit. But getting lit is a pastime, so in a minute I'ma pass out. I hope you get it. If you didn't, you can crash flying. Kinda simple if you feel it, past your last line, but it will confuse a bad mind. A damn shame. That's the exact thing. Don't get your ass fried. Bombs from the sky, rich devil lullaby. Then the nigga fly. Hope you got an alibi. Bombs from the sky, rich devil lullaby. Damn, the missiles high. I can see him from the parking lot. Never finna ball out. Devils finna fall out. All out warfare, nightmares in the big house. They murdered us for years and thinking shit was gonna turn around. Pride never learned. This motherfucker burns down. Yelled in them streets. Told them to breach. All of you angels bring woe to this beast. You rule for a time, but we play for keeps. I pray to my father, bring woe to this beast. Remember them times we hung on them trees. All of you nations bow down to your knees. Remember them ships, they brought us in fleets. Fuck they Apollo, bring them the heat. Whoa, 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 to America. Whoa, whoa, to America. Whoa, 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 to America. Whoa, whoa, whoa. To America.
God is going to destroy this empire, man. You about to see famine in this place. You think them fires in California